Once upon a time, there was a man named Dave who had always dreamed of being a professional basketball player. He was tall, athletic, and loved the game, but there was just one problem: he was terrible at it. No matter how hard he tried, Dave just couldn't seem to get the hang of basketball. He would practice for hours every day, but he always ended up tripping over his own feet, missing shots, and generally making a fool of himself on the court. Despite his lack of skill, Dave refused to give up on his dream. He kept showing up to practices and games, hoping that somehow, miraculously, he would become a basketball superstar. One day, Dave's basketball team was playing in a championship game. The score was tied, and there were only a few seconds left on the clock. Dave's coach put him in the game, hoping that he could make the winning shot. Dave was terrified. He had never been in this position before, and he knew that he was probably going to mess it up. But as he stood on the court, staring down the other team, he had an idea. He took a deep breath, ran straight towards the other team's hoop, and, to everyone's surprise, threw the ball with all his might, in the wrong direction. The ball soared over the other team's heads and landed perfectly in his own team's basket, losing the game. Dave's teammates and the crowd were stunned. They couldn't believe that he had actually made a fool of himself with a ridiculous move. But as the excitement died down, Dave realized something. He had never actually improved his skills or worked hard to become a better basketball player. He had just relied on luck and a crazy idea. Feeling ashamed and embarrassed, Dave quit basketball and gave up on his dream of being a professional player. But as he grew older, he realized that he had learned an important lesson from his basketball experience. He learned that sometimes, it's better to give up on unrealistic dreams and focus on developing real skills and passions. After giving up on his dream of becoming a professional basketball player, Dave went on to explore different interests and career paths. He tried his hand at various jobs and hobbies before discovering a passion for graphic design. Dave began teaching himself graphic design techniques and eventually landed a job at a local design firm. Dave had become a successful entrepreneur and well-respected graphic designer. He often thought back on his basketball days with a smile, grateful for the lessons he had learned about the importance of hard work and realistic expectations. One day, while Dave was working at his design agency, a new client walked in. It was none other than the coach of his old basketball team, who had always thought that Dave was a terrible player. The coach didn't recognize Dave at first, but as they started talking, he realized who he was and couldn't help but laugh. "Dave, I can't believe it's you. I never thought I'd see the day when you became a success at something," he exclaimed. Dave couldn't help but laugh along with him. "Yeah, I guess basketball just wasn't my thing," he replied. But then, the coach had an idea. "Hey, you know what would be hilarious? We should play a one-on-one game of basketball, just for old time's sake," he said. Dave hesitated at first. He knew that he was still a terrible basketball player, but he decided to go along with it anyway. They agreed to play a game at a local park the following weekend. On the day of the one-on-one basketball game, Dave and the coach stepped onto the court with determination in their eyes. The coach was confident that he could win, while Dave was focused on putting his new graphic design skills to the test. As the game progressed, the two players were neck and neck. Dave's crazy moves kept the coach on his toes, while the coach's experience and skill kept him in the game. Finally, the score was tied at 10-10, and there was only one shot left to make. The crowd held their breath as Dave and the coach faced each other on the court. In that moment, something amazing happened. Dave realized that, no matter who won or lost, he was having the time of his life. He had never felt so alive and free, just playing the game he loved with a friend. With a smile on his face, Dave took the final shot and missed. The coach took the ball, made a shot, and won the game. But instead of feeling disappointed, Dave couldn't stop laughing. He hugged the coach and congratulated him on a great game, knowing that they had both played their hearts out. As they walked off the court together, Dave realized something important. The game wasn't about winning or losing, it was about having fun and enjoying the moment. He had finally found the joy in basketball that he had been searching for all along. From that day forward, Dave played basketball for fun, and he never felt more fulfilled. He continued to pursue his passion for graphic design, but he always made time for a pickup game with his friends, remembering the lesson he had learned on the court that day.